Deputy Greg McEwen thought he was dealing with a simple traffic violation when he pulled over a driver who'd been swerving between lanes. The Blount County Sheriff's deputy approached the car professionally, asking the driver why he'd been all over the road. The driver, later identified as 42-year-old Kenneth DeHart, claimed he was just fixing his hair and hadn't realized he was driving erratically. It seemed innocent enough, but McEwen smelled marijuana coming from the vehicle. That's when what should have been a routine stop started going downhill fast. McEwen called for backup and told DeHart he wanted to search the car. DeHart immediately got defensive, claiming there was no weed and refusing to cooperate. The argument escalated quickly, with DeHart becoming more agitated as McEwen's partner arrived on scene.
Well, I stopped
Literally, I ain't doing nothing wrong.
Kenny, man, I just need you to get out of the car, brother.
I'm not getting out. I'm not getting out the car.
All you have to do is step out and see me. I don't have a dog to get, brother.
You could have just gave me a ticket and said, get on. I don't smoke weed.
I don't have a dog to get here, okay? I don't have a dog to search your car.
Well,
I do not have a dog. I can't help you there. You know, I'd like to have a dog.
Baby,
I don't have a dog.
Come down here, baby. I'm on Seville Road, baby. Just come down Seville Road like 10 minutes.
I just need you to step out of the car, Kenny.
I'm refusing to search, man.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen if you don't step out of the car. We're going to have to drag you out of the car, and then you're going to go to jail.
I don't smoke marijuana.
So you can either step out of the car, or I can pull you out of the car.
When the officers tried to get DeHart out of the car, he started fighting back. They deployed tasers, but DeHart was beyond reasoning. He'd reached his breaking point and decided he wasn't going down without a fight. That's when DeHart pulled out a gun and started shooting. The female officer took a bullet to the leg but managed to survive. McEwen wasn't so lucky. DeHart shot him multiple times, then drove past his body to fire one final shot, making sure the deputy was dead.
Kenny,
please stop! Let me talk to my member of my
I just got tased. Shots fired, I'm hit.
The wounded female officer was screaming for help, bleeding on the side of the road until Good Samaritans showed up. She desperately wanted to help her partner, but there was nothing anyone could do. McEwen was gone.
Help! Help, I've been shot! I've been shot, help! 330, 335, 344's down, I've been hit. Suspect fled back towards town on Severe Road.
DeHart fled the scene, sparking a massive 5-day manhunt. The mayor offered a $10,000 reward for information leading to his capture. Finally, police found him hiding in an apartment 20 miles away from where he'd committed the murders. When they arrested DeHart, he showed no remorse, even making racist comments to the officers. He got charged with first-degree murder, attempted murder, and a list of other crimes. The prosecutor is seeking the death penalty. McEwen died because a routine traffic stop spiraled out of control. One moment he was doing his job. The next he was fighting for his life against someone who'd rather kill than face the consequences of his actions. The final call of Officer Joe Burson. It is late on a quiet June night in Holly Springs, Georgia. The dashcam shows flashing blue lights on Hickory Road as Officer Joe Burson, just 25 years old, backs up Sergeant Andrew Drake during a routine traffic stop.
What's in your pockets?
2317, 715, unit 4.
Let me see what's in your hand there.
Code 4, you're running in Denver.
Put it back in.
Go ahead.
The driver, Ansi Dolce, had been pulled over for speeding at 72 miles per hour in a 40 zone. What started as a simple stop quickly turned tense. Dolce gives officers a false name and becomes visibly nervous. When they attempt to detain him, everything changes within seconds.
No, just, no, stop. Stop, go back.
I'm sorry. I was going to the car.
Put him.
715, cover turn.
Get on the ground, stay on the ground. Cut down.
Dolce breaks free, jumps into his car, and accelerates. Officer Burson is pulled along with the moving vehicle as it speeds down the dark road. Sergeant Drake calls for help over the radio as the chaos unfolds.
That's a zero. 2319. That person in the car. Get that person in the car. Get around. Shot fired.
While struggling to stop the suspect, Officer Burson fires his weapon in self-defense. The vehicle crashes into a guardrail and comes to a violent stop. Both men are severely injured.
Get on the ground!
Two more units.
Moments later, Officer Joe Burson succumbs to his injuries at just 25 years old. Investigators later confirmed his actions were justified. He fought to protect others until his very last breath. The final image from the dashcam shows flashing lights over the wrecked car, marking the heartbreaking end of a young officer who gave everything in the line of duty. Number 3. The San Luis Obispo ambush. On May 10, 2021, in the quiet city of San Luis Obispo, California, a team of detectives prepared to serve a search warrant at an apartment on Camellia Court. It was part of an ongoing burglary investigation that had been unfolding for weeks. The officers expected resistance, but not the deadly storm that was about to erupt behind that apartment door.
Edward, come out here.
Among the officers that day was Detective Luca Benedetti, a seasoned investigator known for his professionalism and calm demeanor. Alongside him was Detective Steve Orozco, another dedicated member of the department who had spent years working to keep his community safe. Both men had handled high-risk operations before, but nothing could have prepared them for the ambush waiting on the other side. As the team moved in, they followed protocol carefully, announcing their presence and giving the suspect every opportunity to comply. The man inside, Gioni Gian Edwards, had been linked to multiple burglaries in the area. Instead of surrendering, he was preparing his weapon, waiting for the officers to make their move.
Edward, come out here.
The moment the door was breached, gunfire erupted. The confined space amplified every shot as bullets tore through walls and filled the air with smoke and debris. Detective Luca Benedetti was struck multiple times in the initial volley, collapsing as the rest of the team scrambled for cover. Detective Orozco was also hit, sustaining severe injuries to his head and arm, but he managed to return fire as chaos consumed the hallway.
We have an officer in the building.
Building's in question.
It's the furthest door from us on the second story. It's Unit D. There's two upstairs, A and D. It's the furthest one from us. We believe officers down inside with the suspect. He has a rifle.
Rifle?
Yes. He's engaged us with gunfire. Obviously, we have at least 2 wounded.
Okay, it's not a dog call right now then.
The officers outside fought back fiercely, trying to stop the assault while pulling their wounded to safety. Within seconds, Edwards was hit multiple times and retreated deeper into his apartment. The shooting finally stopped with the sound of a single gunshot from inside, marking the end of the standoff.
They're firing 40s at the windows. Can we get this car here and stand on top of it?
When the team re-entered the apartment, they discovered that the suspect had turned Detective Benedetti's own rifle on himself. The tragic scene was silent, heavy with grief and disbelief. One detective was gone, another lay critically injured, and the department had lost one of its finest.
Check him again. Here. Yeah, get him in.
Get him in.
Detective Luca Benedetti's death shook San Luis Obispo to its core. The small community, rarely touched by violence of this scale, mourned a man who had dedicated his life to protecting others. His colleagues described him as calm, loyal, and deeply committed to his work. Detective Steve Orozco survived his injuries, but the memory of that morning would stay with him forever. In April 2011, in the quiet town of Truman, Arkansas, officers pull over a driver for allegedly not having insurance. What begins as a routine traffic stop quickly turns into a nightmare.
What's your name, bud? Jerry Lard. Y'all want to arrest me? I was sorry, I was a girl. Yeah. All right, also run to Jerry Lard. What's that for, Jerry? 313 to 74.
As the officers question the driver about an unrelated warrant, Officer Jonathan Schmidt opens the back passenger door and comes face to face with Jerry Lard, a man hiding inside the car and pointing a gun directly at him. Without warning, Lard opens fire, shooting Officer Schmidt at point-blank range. Bodycam footage captures the chaos as officers scramble for cover while Lard continues firing and taunting them. Severely wounded, Officer Schmidt collapses to the ground, begging for his life as the gunman keeps shooting. Despite his fellow officers returning fire, it's too late. Schmidt succumbs to his injuries. During the shootout, Jerry Lard is wounded and later taken into custody. He is charged with capital murder and eventually sentenced to death for the brutal killing. Officer Jonathan Schmidt was remembered as a dedicated, brave officer who gave his life in the line of duty while simply trying to do his job. His death devastated the Truman Police Department and left a lasting mark on the community he served. On a summer night in Buffalo, a routine traffic stop spiraled into a deadly encounter. Police pulled over a sedan for speeding and illegal tint. Inside was 25-year-old Davon Roberts with a 6-year-old boy in the passenger seat. At first, the stop appeared uneventful, but when officers confirmed that Roberts had no valid license, he made a sudden choice to flee.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Can you just roll back windows down for me, man?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man. It's a little too dark. Oh, man. Little guy, you gotta be sitting in the back.
He's 6.
He's 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, how much does he weigh, though?
Huh?
How much does he weigh?
I don't know. This is my little cousin.
Okay.
I'm taking him for a ride.
This seat's his, right, though, right here?
Say it again?
Isn't this his seat right there?
No, this is my nephew, man. This is my nephew.
Nephew?
Yeah, that's my nephew's son.
Whose birthday?
Happy birthday. His birthday was a couple of days ago.
Nice. Happy late birthday. You know I can pull over?
No. You want to see my license?
Please. Whose car is this?
This is my sister car.
Okay, there's no registration.
For real?
Yeah. Oh, the registration looks like it's expired.
Body camera footage captured what happened next in harrowing detail. Roberts accelerated with an officer still gripping the driver's door. The camera jolted violently as the officer's body was dragged against the pavement at highway speeds. For half a mile, the officer clung on while the car tore forward, headlights streaking by in a blur.
She can come out here if she wants. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you take a step out and come towards me. We're gonna try and run your name a different way and see if I can find it pop up some other way.
Okay, for sure.
You can put the phone down there. You're gonna kill me, bro. You're gonna kill me, bro. You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me, bro. Stop. I'm down.
Moments later, gunfire erupted. The officer was thrown onto the roadway, injured but alive. The sedan continued rolling with the child still inside. The footage then showed the officer scrambling back to his feet, racing to the car, and pulling the boy to safety. That raw sequence, from sudden acceleration to the desperate rescue, became the centerpiece of the released video.
Shots fired! Shots fired! There's a kid in the car still! He tried killing me! Shots fired!
Shots fired. Fired. Location, please.
Huntington! Relos!
Wyoming, Theater, shots fired.
Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here, baby! Come here! I got you! I'll get it! I got it! I'll get it! I'll get it! Okay, you okay?
Yes.
Okay, you're okay.
Roberts was mortally wounded during the incident and later pronounced dead at the hospital. A loaded pistol was recovered beneath the driver's seat, underscoring the danger of the encounter. The official release of the body camera footage by New York's Office of Special Investigation ignited immediate debate. To many, it revealed how an apparently routine traffic stop can turn lethal within seconds. To others, it highlighted the extraordinary risks officers face when suspects refuse to surrender. The tragedy left behind more than headlines. It left a child scarred by what he had witnessed, a community shaken by the images circulating online, and yet another stark example of how the decision to run can escalate into irreversible loss. The Fargo ambush. On July 14, 2023, in Fargo, North Dakota, a seemingly ordinary afternoon turned into a devastating tragedy. It began with a routine traffic crash response that quickly became one of the darkest days the Fargo Police Department had ever faced. Officers were called to a scene on a busy street to assist with a collision, unaware that a gunman was quietly preparing for an attack. Among those responding was Officer Jake Wallen, a young officer who had only recently joined the force. Full of energy and dedication, he had served his country as a U.S. Army veteran before choosing to protect his community in Fargo. For Jake, this was another day on duty, another chance to make a difference. As officers began working the accident scene, everything appeared normal for a brief moment. Then, without warning, a burst of gunfire shattered the calm. The shooter, later identified as Muhammad Barakat, emerged armed with an AK-47 and began firing at the officers. In an instant, the street became a scene of chaos and confusion as bullets ripped through patrol cars and struck officers who had no time to react.
Central, we got shots fired! Central, we got shots fired! Central, we got a man with an AK-47. He's shooting at us. We're at
Officer Jake Wallen was fatally hit during the first wave of gunfire. Two other officers were critically injured as they fought to take cover and respond to the ambush. Despite the shock and intensity of the moment, other members of the Fargo Police Department moved in quickly to engage the gunman, risking their lives to stop the attack and save their fallen brothers.
Central, shots fired, shots fired! We got 3 officers down, 3 officers down! Send everybody!
The standoff was fierce but brief. Officers managed to neutralize Barakat before he could cause more loss. When the gunfire stopped, investigators found that Barakat had planned a massive assault. Inside his vehicle were multiple firearms, more than 1,800 rounds of ammunition, a homemade grenade, and explosives. His intent was far deadlier than anyone could have imagined.
Stop moving! Stop moving! Put your hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Fargo 534, 3 officers down.
The city of Fargo was left in disbelief. Officer Wallen's death struck the community hard. He was just 23 years old, full of promise, and had dedicated his short life to service both in the military and in law enforcement. His bravery in the face of sudden terror became a symbol of selflessness and sacrifice. In the days that followed, residents lined the streets as Officer Wallen's body was escorted to his final resting place. Flags flew at half-staff across the state, honoring a young man who had given everything to protect others. The Fargo ambush served as a painful reminder that danger can appear in the most unexpected moments, and that behind every badge is a person willing to stand in harm's way for the safety of others. Their bravery will never be forgotten. If you believe their stories deserve to be heard, hit like and share, so more people remember the heroes who gave everything. Sometimes being a good person gets you killed. That's exactly what happened to New Mexico State Trooper Justin Hare on March 15, 2024. The 33-year-old officer thought he was just helping out a stranded motorist on a lonely stretch of highway in Key County. Instead, he walked straight into his own murder.
Taking grab the 97. Hey, bud.
Got a flat tire, you can help me?
What are you needing?
Just a tire. I need a ride to the store, you get me there.
Hare got the call in the early morning hours about someone needing assistance with a flat tire. It seemed routine enough. Cops help stranded drivers all the time. Hare pulled up to find 33-year-old Jeremy Smith standing next to a broken-down vehicle, looking like he needed help getting back to town.
Okay, I can get you back to town real quick, but nobody's open tonight.
Well, that's fine, I get town. I just haven't come back to get the car.
Okay, go ahead and go to the front of my car real quick. I'll meet you up there real quick.
Hare was nothing but professional and kind. He told Smith that most places would be closed at that hour, but he'd be happy to give him a ride into town anyway. Smith seemed grateful and cooperative as Hare directed him to walk to the front of the patrol car. Hare was probably thinking about how this would be a quick, easy call before getting back to his regular patrol duties. He had no idea he was dealing with a cold-blooded killer who was already planning his next move.
I'll get...
Without any warning whatsoever, Smith pulled out a 9mm pistol and shot Hare point blank in the head. The trooper died instantly, never knowing what hit him. 1 second he was being a good Samaritan. The next he was dead because he tried to help the wrong person. But Smith wasn't done with his crime spree. After murdering the officer who was trying to help him, Smith stole the patrol car with Hare's body still inside. He drove north for about 5 minutes before dumping Hare's corpse on the side of the road like garbage. Then he kept driving the stolen police vehicle until he eventually crashed it and fled on foot. The whole thing was captured on Hare's body camera, showing just how quickly a routine call can turn deadly. Hare never had a chance to defend himself because he was focused on helping someone in need, not expecting to be ambushed by a killer.
Hare. Brother. Hey, brother. Hare. 961 Norcom, I need a 55 now. 961 Norcom. 961 Norcom, I need a 55 now. Hare, hey, brother, hey. Fuck.
Investigation later revealed that Smith had been on a multi-state crime spree. He'd stolen a BMW from a nurse just days before killing Hare and already had warrants out for his arrest. That explains why he was so quick to kill an officer. He knew he was going back to prison if he got caught, so he decided murder was his best option. Police caught Smith a few days later and charged him with everything they could think of: carjacking resulting in death, kidnapping resulting in death, possession of a stolen firearm, and interstate transport of a stolen vehicle. Federal prosecutors are seeking either life in prison or the death penalty, because federal law doesn't allow parole for these kinds of crimes. Hare's death hit the law enforcement community especially hard because it showed how even the most innocent interactions can turn deadly. He wasn't making an arrest or chasing a suspect. He was literally just trying to help someone get home safely. His kindness and willingness to go above and beyond for a stranger cost him his life.
Right here! Stop moving! Stop! Stop!
Shot fired! Shot fired!
We're fucking moving! Roll over! Roll over! Roll over!
You guys okay?
Yeah. Roll over!
The trooper left behind a pregnant wife and 2 young children who will never understand why their husband and father had to die for trying to help someone. Hare's widow had to deal with not only losing her husband, but also raising their kids alone, including a baby who would never know their father. Smith's decision to kill Hare instead of just running away shows the kind of evil that police officers face every day. Hare approached that car thinking he was dealing with someone who needed help, not a violent criminal who saw murder as easier than explaining himself. One moment of kindness from a good officer met with pure evil from someone who had already decided that other people's lives didn't matter. The fentanyl collapse. It was October 24th, 2023, a late afternoon in Sacramento, California, when Sacramento County Sheriff's Deputy Marvin Morales stopped a familiar face at a Shell gas station on Stockton Boulevard near 65th Street. The man was well known to local deputies, a chronic user, often erratic, sometimes homeless, and clearly under the influence again. What began as a routine street contact would soon expose a deadly breach within the thin blue line itself.
Could be, is it? I think it is. I'm not sure. Yeah? Yeah, not for now. So you could either hand it over or I could put you in cuffs.
Morales engaged the man in casual but firm conversation, quickly noticing a shiny foil packet protruding from his pocket. The suspect openly admitted it contained crystal methamphetamine. He also surrendered a glass pipe used for smoking. Morales issued a citation for possession, collected the foil and pipe as evidence, and told the man he was free to go. No arrest, no jail, just a ticket and a stern warning to get help. Minutes later, surveillance footage captured Morales entering the gas station restroom alone. Another deputy arrived on an unrelated call and noticed the locked door. When it was finally opened, Morales was slumped lifelessly in the corner, unconscious, not breathing, turning blue.
Morales! Wake up, bro! Morales! Yes, where my car's at? Where's Bodycam apply? He's coming too.
Panic erupted. Officers dragged him into the open air. His duty vest was ripped off, his legs straightened to open the airway. 4 separate doses of Narcan were administered, one after another, until finally, his chest heaved. His pulse returned. He gasped.
Okay. There you go. There you go. There we go, Marv.
Keep breathing, bud.
Keep breathing, Marv. Come on, Marv. You're good, man. Come on, dude. You're gonna be okay. You're good.
But the evidence told a far darker story. The seized foil packet was missing. The glass pipe was later found shattered inside Morales' patrol vehicle. Investigators pieced together the timeline. Morales had allegedly smoked fentanyl residue from the pipe while on duty, in full uniform, inside the public restroom.
Well, because I'm not seeing anything. He said what was relayed to me is the last he saw was it went into a glove and into the trunk.
Right before.
Your glove in the trunk?
Yeah. The guy told him it was meth, according to the updates.
An internal affairs investigation revealed he had even taken the pipe home previously and admitted to using residue. The department recommended termination for gross misconduct, policy violation, and dishonesty. Morales resigned in early February 2024, and his resignation was promptly accepted. The incident became one of Sacramento's most sobering and publicly discussed internal failures, a haunting warning that the deadliest threat a deputy faces may not come from the streets, but from within. On April 22, 2023, Robbinsville Township Police Officer Connor Bowl was assisting a stranded motorist on a busy roadway. The driver's car had broken down, and Officer Bowl was helping push the disabled vehicle into a nearby parking lot to clear traffic.
See this one-way sign right there? There's a parking lot right there. We're going to push you right into there, okay?
Turn here?
Yep, it turns in here.
Everything appeared routine until tragedy struck in an instant. As the officer and the driver pushed the car forward, a 2020 Volkswagen Passat traveling at high speed failed to move over and struck Officer Bowl. The impact threw him onto the hood of the car before he fell to the ground. The driver of the vehicle never stopped and fled the scene, leaving the injured officer behind as his patrol car lights continued flashing across the roadway.
Turns in here.
Emergency units arrived within minutes. Officer Bowl was found with a broken leg, multiple facial cuts, and a concussion. He was transported to a nearby hospital. Investigators quickly identified the suspect as 52-year-old Rachel Glatt. She was arrested and charged with leaving the scene of an accident, careless driving, and failing to change lanes for an emergency vehicle. Case number 2. It was just after midnight on May 9, 2023, when an Illinois State Police trooper noticed a vehicle stranded on the shoulder of the interstate. Believing it to be a simple motorist assist, the officer stopped to help.
There's no reason to lie to us when we're just trying to help. The only thing I was trying to do is help. You guys could have been long down the road, probably 15, 20 minutes ago down the road, if you would have just said, here's my ID, and been done, right? Yes. It would have solved so much. But you guys have...
No, he's going back and forth.
It adds.
The driver appeared nervous and gave conflicting answers about his identity. The trooper remained calm and began running a background check. Moments later, the results came back. The man was identified as 23-year-old Brandon Griffin, wanted nationwide for felony weapons charges. His wife, 31-year-old Christine Santos, was sitting in the passenger seat.
Let me go check it real quick, Brandon. All right. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. I want to have you turn around for a minute. All right. Turn. No.
Hey, I'm
Brandon.
not going in cuffs.
Brandon, we're not doing this.
Brandon.
Listen to me.
Hey,
Brandon.
I'm not.
We're done.
I'm not going in cuffs.
Hey, Brandon.
We're done.
Stop.
No!
Brandon.
No!
Stop.
Brandon.
What?
Stop.
Stop.
If you don't stop, I'm adding charges to you.
Charged with resistance.
You're going to get extra charges.
Stop.
All right, Brandon, we're done. We're done.
Get your hand. Stop.
Go left.
Stop resisting.
Brandon. Christine, stay out of the car.
Do it.
Christine, stay out of the...
What are you doing?
When officers moved in to take Griffin into custody, he suddenly resisted and reached for a gun. Within seconds, the quiet night turned into chaos. Gunfire erupted, striking the trooper and forcing his partner to take cover before returning fire.
Stop it!
Oh, he's got a gun! He's got a gun! Gun! Decoy X83! Shots fired! Shots fired! Suspect! Officer shot! Officer shot!
Radio traffic filled the air as backup units rushed to the scene. Griffin was fatally shot, and his wife was quickly detained without incident. August 30th, 2021, Brevard County deputies received a call for a routine traffic stop on US 192 in West Melbourne, near Interstate 95. A vehicle carrying 3 adults and a 2-month-old infant had drawn law enforcement attention, but what began as a standard stop quickly escalated into a life-threatening confrontation.
What's that? In the car? All right, partner. He wants to talk to you out here. Is that all you're... Yeah. I'll watch it for you. He's all right. I got babies. Oh, you got a dog too? Hell. I'll make sure they're all right. I got babies too, man.
Deputy Brian Potters, a seasoned officer, initiated the stop and was joined moments later by Deputy Tyler Toman to assist. The deputies approached the vehicle cautiously, addressing the occupants and requesting identification, while maintaining focus on the child in the back seat. All seemed under control until a sudden, unexpected act of violence changed the scene dramatically.
Huh? Okay.
Paris Wilder, 38 years old and seated in the back of the vehicle, had concealed an AR-15 style rifle. In an instant, he exited the vehicle and opened fire on Deputy Potters. Potters was struck in the leg, and blood began to flow immediately. The deputies returned fire, seeking cover behind their patrol units while trying to protect themselves, the infant, and the other occupants from harm.
Shit! Shit!
Wilder's attack intensified as he used the rifle to assault Deputy Potters directly, striking him multiple times in the head with the butt of the weapon. The deputies were forced to act decisively, firing multiple rounds to neutralize the threat. What began as a routine traffic stop turned into a violent ambush, underscoring the ever-present risk law enforcement officers face daily and the unpredictable nature of human behavior in high-stakes encounters. Number 5. On July 30th, 2020, Chicago police officers closed in on a stolen Porsche near the city's west side. Behind the wheel was 27-year-old Lavelle Jordan, a convicted felon, out on parole, known to the system, known to officers.
Lift me up, okay? I got skin grafts. Lift me up, okay? Wait, stop, folks. Okay, get on your knee. I'm about to die, put the cups in the front.
But this afternoon, he wasn't just a car thief. He was about to become the center of one of the most dangerous shootouts inside a police station in the city's history.
I can't put cuffs in the front. You'll be fine.
Get on your knee.
I can't get on my knees. I got
Get on your knee.
I got 30 reverse all of my legs and knees. Okay.
The vehicle stop was tense from the beginning. Officers dragged Jordan out of the Porsche, pulled him to the ground, and cuffed his hands behind his back. They searched him quickly for weapons. He insisted he didn't have any. He even complained about burns on his hands, asking for the cuffs to be moved to the front. Officers refused, telling him they would sort that out once they reached the station.
Stay on your side. Hold on, wait, come on. All right. It's over, okay? Don't play fucking games.
You can slow it down. We got it.
Put me in the
We
car.
got it. We got it.
Take the cuffs off, put it in the front, please. I'm not putting cuffs in the front. You got to, sir. I have medical. Look in the car. How much issue? I'm not putting the cuffs in the front. Look at my hand, sir. Look at my hand.
We saw your hand.
Stay
We
put.
got it.
Jordan was placed in the back of a squad SUV, hands behind his back, but he wasn't unarmed. Somehow, he had managed to keep a small handgun hidden in his clothes. And as the minutes passed, with the patrol vehicle rolling toward the 25th District Station, he began to maneuver.
Just watch him.
Nope.
I promise you. We're not putting cuffs in the front. I'm gonna get you to the station. I'm gonna take them off. Look at my hand. This shit hurt. I got 30 reverse everywhere. Okay, please. Get you to the station and we'll take them off. Please.
By the time they pulled into the Sally Port at 5555 West Grand Avenue, his hands were no longer behind him. They were in front, and the gun was ready. When the rear door opened, Jordan struck first. A shot rang out, hitting an officer in the chin. Chaos erupted in the confined space of the station entrance. Officers scrambled for cover as Jordan opened fire from the back seat. He kept firing, hitting another officer in the shoulder and neck, and wounding a third in the hip. One officer took a round to his vest, but was spared serious injury.
The police! 10-1, back to the station! Shot fired! Police! 10-1, officer down! Roll an ambulance!
The squad port echoed with gunfire as officers returned fire. 4 of them drew down on Jordan, unleashing round after round. More than 50 shots tore through the space in seconds. Jordan tried to shield himself, ducking behind the car door, but the officers pressed forward, determined to stop the attack. For several minutes, it was a deadly standoff at point-blank range. Officers outside the SUV fired into the back seat. Jordan fired back, his weapon still in hand. At one point, an officer who had been shot rose to his feet and returned fire despite his injuries.
Suspect down! Suspect down!
The gun battle didn't let up until Jordan finally went down, struck multiple times and unable to move.
We still have shots fired over there. These guys will caution in the Cali port.
He still got the gun. Get clear. Gun is clear.
And do we have EMS on scene?
Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's Cordy at?
In just a few moments, the 25th District Station had become a war zone, with officers and their suspect exchanging fire in one of the most violent clashes inside a Chicago police facility in recent memory. May 11, 2021, police in Stockton, California, received a desperate 911 call about a violent domestic disturbance. The caller reported loud screams and windows shaking from inside a home. Responding to the call was Officer Jimmy Inn, a 30-year-old father of 3 who had served with the Stockton Police Department for 4 years. At 10:07 a.m., Inn pulled up in front of the house, unaware of the deadly danger waiting behind the door. As he approached the entryway, he knocked, announcing himself as police. The door opened just slightly, but before he could react, gunfire erupted. Jimmy Inn was shot multiple times in a matter of seconds.
Please.
Hey, police.
Hello.
His partner, Officer Pancho Freer, arrived moments later and was met with the shocking sight of Inn on the ground. Freer immediately returned fire, shouting into his radio for urgent backup. His voice broke as he tried to keep his partner alive, pleading for Jimmy to hold on while still keeping his weapon trained on the house.
58 shots fired, shots fired. Partner's down. Jimmy, you all right? 58 shots fired, my partner is down. Code 3 now.
Then the situation grew even more horrifying. The suspect, identified as 30-year-old Lance Lowe, emerged from the doorway holding his 8-year-old son. Using the terrified boy as a human shield, he stepped onto the front lawn. Officers shouted for him to put the child down, trying desperately to de-escalate, but Lowe ignored every command.
58, I need units code 3. He's strangling the kid and my partner is down. Let the kid go! Let him go! Let him go! Let go of the kid!
The standoff reached its breaking point when a neighbor, witnessing the horror unfold, made a split-second decision. Risking his own life, the man sprinted across the lawn, tackled Lowe from behind, and ripped the boy free from his arms. The child stumbled into the arms of officers, crying but unharmed. With the boy safe, police opened fire. Lowe was fatally shot on the lawn, ending the immediate danger but leaving irreversible devastation in his wake.
Hey, Fern, we're on the corner. Hey, watch!
Despite every effort, Officer Jimmy Inn succumbed to his wounds. He died at the scene, never making it back to his wife, who was also a police officer, and their 3 children. His youngest was just a baby who would grow up never knowing the father who gave his life protecting others.
Stockton PD says that Officer End and the suspect both taken to the hospital where they both later died from their injuries. Tonight we have learned that Officer N leaves behind a wife and 3 children, including a 7-month-old son. His wife, also a Stockton police officer.
The community of Stockton was shattered. A memorial outside the department grew with flowers, flags, and handwritten notes, while fellow officers stood in silent salute. At his funeral, Jimmy N was remembered as a dedicated officer, a loving husband, and a doting father whose courage cost him everything. For the little boy caught in the middle, the trauma of watching his father die that day is something he will carry forever. And for Officer N's family, the tragedy is a reminder of the unimaginable risks that come with answering a single call for help. Case number 2.
You heard, right? Duran is dead. Robert Duran is dead.
My brother.
On March 2, 2022, in Billings, Montana, a passerby frantically called 911 after spotting a woman in a moving vehicle screaming for help. She cried out that she was being held against her will by a man armed with a knife. The caller described the car and direction of travel, and within minutes, police began a high-speed pursuit.
We're going back eastbound on Mike's passing Pacheco. Swerving in and out of traffic. 254, you go ahead, I got comms. Let's just make sure that the 3rd officer goes and gets 49, please. Meanwhile, you guys stay on it, please. Santa Fe notify the SO and SP, please.
Officers believed they were racing against time to save a hostage. The vehicle weaved recklessly through traffic, swerving into oncoming lanes and forcing other drivers off the road. Despite the extreme danger, officers pressed forward, convinced that a victim's life was at stake.
Over I-25, maintain over I-25, and just be flipping around now, and we're going to be oncoming traffic. He's going to be on to oncoming traffic going over I-25. Now he's headed on to I-25, wrong direction, and he's going to be headed on to the French Road.
The pursuit ended in tragedy. As police tried to intercept the suspect's car near Santa Fe, Officer Robert Duran's patrol vehicle collided head-on with another car. The crash was devastating. Both Officer Duran and the innocent driver of the other vehicle were killed instantly. At the scene, the supposed victim stepped out of her car. She told officers her captor had fled on foot, identifying him as her boyfriend and insisting he was armed with a gun. A manhunt was immediately launched, with tactical teams sweeping the area. But something didn't add up. Despite her claims, no suspect was ever found.
Get in the car, get in the car. Let me see, I need to check you. I need to check you for weapons.
Okay.
Where's he at? Who is it?
His name is Mark. He's my boyfriend.
Does he have any weapons?
Yes, he does.
What does he have?
He has a gun.
Where's he at?
He went running.
He ran?
Yes, he did.
Investigators quickly uncovered the shocking truth. There had never been a kidnapping. The woman, 49-year-old Janine Harmo, had fabricated the entire story. The vehicle was stolen, and she had a history of making nearly identical false claims in past encounters with police, often leading to reckless chases. Prosecutors later revealed this was not a desperate escape, but a deliberate deception, one that had now cost 2 innocent lives.
Pass out. Some water, brother?
My brother.
In July 2024, after a lengthy trial, a Santa Fe County jury convicted Harmo of 2 counts of first-degree murder. The district attorney argued that her lies weaponized police officers' duty to protect, manipulating them into a deadly pursuit. The court agreed, handing down 2 life sentences plus an additional 43 years for related charges.
Find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree as charged in count 2.
I'd like to say I'm sorry to the family with all my heart. If I could take back that day, I would. I made bad choices. I was on drugs and I was drinking, but I also have my family that I'm hurting. Putting me away many years is not going to bring them back. But I would never, ever plan on hurting anybody. Much less killing anybody. God knows what's in my heart.
For the Santa Fe Police Department, the loss of Officer Robert Duran was almost unthinkable. He became the first officer killed in the line of duty in over 90 years. The other victim, an ordinary driver on his way home, was remembered by family as a kind and hard-working man whose life was stolen in an instant. At sentencing, the district attorney called the verdict the end of a 2.5-year nightmare. But for the families of the victims, no amount of justice could undo the devastation caused by a lie that spiraled into tragedy. Before we dive into the next encounter, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any of these real police stories. Case 3.
Brannon grabs a rifle, and during the deadly gunfight, Brannon is hit once in the stomach. Deputy Kyle Dinkheller, a husband and father, is struck 9 times and dies.
On January 12, 1998, Lawrence County Sheriff's Deputy Kyle Dinkheller pulled over 49-year-old Andrew Brannon, an ex-U.S. Army Vietnam veteran, for speeding on the interstate.
Driver, step back here to me. Come on back here for me.
Almost immediately, the traffic stop began to spiral out of control. The deputy asked Brannon to step out of his car and keep his hands out of his pockets, but Brannon quickly became aggressive. He yelled, cursed, and repeatedly refused to comply with simple commands. The situation escalated further when Brannon shoved Deputy Dinkheller in the chest and walked back to his vehicle, ignoring repeated orders to stop.
Sir, get back. What are you calling? Sir, get back. Now, get back. Get back. Sir, get back now. No. Get back. Fuck you. Sir, get back. No. I'm telling you now. Get back, sir. Sir, get back. Sir, I am a goddamn Vietnam combat veteran. Step back. And I am not. Sir, fuck you. Sir, step back now. Get back. Get back. Get back now. 1078, radio 1018. Sir, step back now.
Despite Brannon's increasingly threatening behavior, Deputy Dinkheller chose restraint and did not use force. That decision would prove fatal. Brannon retrieved a rifle from his car, pointed it at the deputy, and opened fire.
Drop the gun now!
Armed only with his service pistol, Deputy Dinkheller had little chance against a trained Vietnam veteran with combat experience. He tried to return fire, but Brannon shot him multiple times before delivering the final fatal headshot.
Shit! Stop now!
By the time backup arrived, Deputy Dinkheller was already dead. His fellow officers, recognizing their fallen colleague as they rushed to the scene, were left in shock and devastation.
God! No, Kyle! No! Kyle! Kyle, no! Fuck! No! No! No!
They want to talk to you.
No! God damn it! Get him up here, 1018! He bet he's down, he's bad. Get him up here! Get him up here! No, Kyle, no! No!
A massive manhunt was launched, and Brannon was captured the following day after a brief gunfight. He was charged with the malice murder of a peace officer. At trial, his defense argued insanity caused by PTSD from the Vietnam War, but the jury rejected the claim. Brannon was sentenced to death and, after years of appeals, was executed by lethal injection on January 13, 2015, 17 years after the murder. Number 4.
42-year-old Sergeant Eric Mueller was gunned down within minutes during a call in a small town near Ottawa last week. And as Jason Gaidola tells us, his death marks the 10th time an on-duty officer was killed across Canada in just the last 8 months.
On May 11, 2023, at around 2 a.m., dispatchers in Bourget, Ontario, received a frantic call from a woman. She reported loud music, screaming, and what she thought was a gunshot coming from her neighbor's home. The neighbor was 39-year-old Allen, a drywall contractor with no criminal record, no history of violence, and a licensed gun owner. Police had never been called to his home before, and he was not considered a threat. At that moment, it was treated as a routine wellness check.
Hey, avant que tu rentres ici, y a-tu des enfants ou quelque chose?
Non.
Tout seul?
Seul. Fait que la fois que j'ai vu tantôt, puis la lumière était pas allumée.
3 Ontario provincial police officers, Sergeant Eric Miller, Constable Mark Lawson, and Constable Francois Gamache, arrived at the quiet neighborhood just before dawn. They parked outside, moving cautiously with flashlights. At first, the home seemed still, the back door locked, no sounds from within. They circled the property, checking for signs of distress. To them, it looked like a standard call that would likely end with calming down a dispute.
I just cover the front door. Just gonna do a perimeter check first.
But inside, Allen had been asleep. He was startled awake by noises around his house and, in confusion, thought someone was trying to break in. Without announcing himself, he grabbed a semi-automatic rifle he kept by his bed. Moments later, as the officers regrouped near the front door, Allen raised the weapon and unleashed 9 shots through his bedroom wall. The gunfire tore into the officers before they even had time to react. Sergeant Mueller was struck multiple times and dropped instantly in the mudroom, his weapon still holstered. Constable Lawson was hit, but his ballistic vest stopped the bullet. Constable Gamache, caught in the open, scrambled for cover but was also struck by a round. The gunfight was over in seconds, leaving the officers wounded and Mueller gravely injured on the floor.
Motherfucker, man. C'est ça que j'ai dit. Fuck with the motherfucker. Should have never broken my house. Sorry about that.
Realizing he had shot police, Allen called 911 in a panicked voice, insisting intruders had broken into his home. But prosecutors would later argue that his actions went far beyond confusion, calling it a deliberate and deadly ambush. Paramedics rushed the officers to hospital. Constable Gamache survived his injuries, and Constable Lawson was treated for bruising from the impact to his vest. Tragically, Sergeant Eric Mueller did not make it. His death devastated his family, colleagues, and the entire Ontario provincial police community. Allen was arrested at the scene and charged with first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. His trial gripped Canada, raising questions about gun ownership, mental health, and police safety. On May 24, 2025, the jury delivered its verdict, guilty on all charges. Allen was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 25 years. For the officers who survived, that night remains seared into memory. The eerie silence before the gunfire, the chaos of trying to save Mueller, and the crushing realization that their sergeant would never go home again. Sergeant Eric Mueller's final act was simply doing what he had done for decades, answering a call for help. These stories remind us how quickly life can change in the line of duty. What do you think about the risks officers face every day? Share your thoughts in the comments. Officer Angelina White had only been wearing the badge for 6 months when November 6, 2017 changed everything. The young Portsmouth, Virginia officer was doing a routine patrol when she spotted 15-year-old William Patterson Jr., a known runaway with gang connections. What started as a simple interaction turned deadly when Patterson pulled a gun and fired 5 shots at the rookie officer.
You gotta stand up.
What'd I do?
Come on, turn around.
What?
Look. Turn around. Ow! Ow! Officer shot! Officer shot! Officer shot!
The bullets tore through Officer White's arms and legs, with one striking her femoral artery. Blood poured onto the pavement as she collapsed, fighting to stay conscious. Patterson fled the scene, leaving the wounded officer bleeding to death on a residential street corner. In those critical moments, every second mattered as her life literally drained away.
Where's your radio?
Help me!
Where's your radio?
Where are we? Officer shot! Help!
Hey, you got an officer down 2500 block in Hickory Street. Female officer down 2500 block of Hickory Street.
That's when an unnamed Good Samaritan became the difference between life and death. This hero saw what happened and ran toward the gunshots instead of away from them. Without any medical training or law enforcement experience, this brave civilian made split-second decisions that would save a police officer's life.
Oh, stay still, stay down. Stay down.
Where'd he go?
Take your hair first. I don't know where he took off.
Where are you shot? Stay with me. Stay with me. Where are you shot?
Arms and leg.
I got you, baby. I got you.
The Good Samaritan quickly grabbed Officer White's radio and called for backup, staying calm under pressure despite the chaotic scene. But more importantly, they stayed with the wounded officer, applying pressure to her wounds and talking to her to keep her awake. They understood instinctively that keeping someone conscious and trying to control bleeding could mean the difference between survival and death.
Give me a bolo. Get a bolo out. All right, where else are you shot?
Arm in the arm. She said the arm. Shut the arm. Sweetheart, come here. Look at me. Look at me. Hold my hand.
What's the description? Give me the description.
William Patterson.
William Patterson. Put that out. Put that out.
This civilian hero didn't just make one phone call and leave. They remained by Officer White's side, providing comfort and potentially life-saving first aid until paramedics and fellow officers arrived. Their quick thinking and willingness to get involved directly contributed to Officer White surviving that terrible day. Fellow officers arrived and continued the life-saving efforts, applying tourniquets and rushing Officer White to the hospital. She survived, but her law enforcement career ended due to her injuries. Patterson was caught and sentenced to 88 years in prison. The unnamed Good Samaritan proved that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when someone's life is on the line. Kayla, a small town in Luna County, El Paso, Texas. What seemed like just another quiet day turned into a living nightmare. Police traffic officers were doing what they do best, routine vehicle checks. It was a typical scene. Drivers pulled over, documents checked, and everything moving along as it should. Little did they know, today was going to be anything but typical.
Gonna be on I-10, eastbound at about the 101. I'll attempt tag 05 27 Edward Paul. It's going to be a white Chevy pickup. One aboard. Can't tell what state the temp tag's out of.
Officer Jarrett, with his usual calm demeanor, approached a white pickup truck that had just been flagged down for a standard check. He smiled, his hand outstretched, ready to greet the driver.
Afternoon, sir. My name's Darren Jarrett. I'm with New Mexico State Police. The reason for the stop is your window tint's a little too dark. Yeah. You mind if I open the door? Or if you want to roll down the window more.
It's dark?
Yeah. I noticed you got temp tags. You got a registration for the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
I'll need registration and your driver's license as well.
But in the blink of an eye, everything changed. The driver, later identified as Cueva, reached under his seat and pulled out a gun. In an instant, Officer Jarrett realized the danger, but it was already too late. Without warning, Cueva aimed the gun directly at him and fired. The shot rang out, and Officer Jarrett collapsed to the ground instantly, his life taken by a single bullet.
Got paperwork I gotta do. No? Hey, real quick. You have a firearm? Yeah. Oh no, I see. Please, do me a favor. You mind if I take it off you for my safety? Alright, hold on. Alright, let's go to my vehicle, okay? Come on.
Oh, shit!
The officers surrounding the area were left in shock. No one saw it coming. A routine check, the kind that happens every day, had just turned into an ambush. Officer Jarrett was down, and the others froze for a moment, unsure of what to do. Then, without a second thought, Cueva slammed his foot on the gas and sped off. The truck careened down the interstate, heading east toward Las Cruces. The police officers didn't hesitate for a second. They abandoned their traffic duties, hopped into their patrol vehicles, and gave chase. They couldn't let him get away. Not after what he had just done.
Hey, what do you want to spike him?
Did he shoot at him?
Yeah, officer is down, bro. You want to double check with the officer?
Let's stop this guy, man. We gotta stop him.
Okay.
Let's just shoot. Let's shoot at him. Let's shoot through his windshield.
What's up, bro?
We gotta shoot through his windshield. Spiking's not gonna do nothing, bro.
The chase was on. Cueva pushed the truck to its limits, racing through the streets at dangerous speeds. He wasn't going to stop. He wasn't even trying to outrun the cops. He was trying to escape, no matter the cost.
You have updated 49.
I have issues. Gonna be traveling on the slow lane. We're approaching mile marker 115 right now. 116th and 4th is slowing down.
We're approaching the 115, 116 in the slow lane.
15 miles into the pursuit, the police were gaining ground. But then, something unexpected happened. Cueva pulled over, not to surrender, but to continue the fight. He jumped out of the truck, pulled out a rifle, and aimed it straight at the officers. A terrifying standoff began. The sound of gunfire filled the air as Cueva opened fire, sending a barrage of bullets toward the police. The officers, caught off guard, had no choice but to return fire. It was chaos. Gunshots, speeding vehicles, and officers ducking for cover. It was everything but a routine traffic stop. Cueva wasn't done. Realizing that he was outgunned, he quickly jumped back into his truck and took off again, speeding down the road. The police were relentless. They couldn't stop now, not after what had just happened. The chase was still on. By now, multiple law enforcement agencies had joined the pursuit. U.S. Border Patrol, sheriff's departments, and city police all joined the chase, determined to bring Cueva to justice. No one was backing down. As the chase neared Las Cruces, the police had to act fast. They deployed spike strips to disable the truck's tires, but Cueva didn't slow down. He drove on, even with one of the tires shredded. He was willing to do anything to escape the law.
430, I'm 10-4. Shot at my unit.
Copy. Shots fired at your unit. 4. People unit vital times from 446 and 430.
Got a spike, got a spike.
In a final attempt to end the pursuit, a Las Cruces officer used a pursuit intervention technique, ramming the truck off the road. The truck finally came to a halt, and the officers knew this was their last chance to stop him.
Black handgun.
So 49, he's slumped over. Might be shot. He's slumped over. We're getting closer to Avenida Mesilla exit. Still eastbound.
Yes, spike shifted up in the air.
I can't see him anymore.
Block traffic right here on Avenida Mesilla, please. Get the cycles out.
He's still slumped over towards the right. We're coming to Avenida Mesilla.
System 1, you got 935 blocking Conway to University.
Cueva jumped out of the truck, gun in hand, ready to fight. He pointed his weapon at the officers. The next sound everyone heard was the unmistakable crack of gunfire. Officers scrambled for cover, taking quick, calculated positions. The tension was palpable. Everyone knew this was the final showdown. Shots rang out in quick succession. Cueva was fighting for his life, but the officers weren't backing down. They returned fire with precision. It was a standoff like no other. And then, just as quickly as it started, everything went quiet. Cueva stopped shooting. His body went still. He had been hit, and it was over. The threat had been neutralized. He was dead at the scene.
Where's your hands? Got it?
During the firefight, one Las Cruces officer was injured, but fortunately, the officer was quickly taken to the hospital and treated. Officer Jarriott, however, was not so lucky. He lost his life that day, leaving behind 3 young children, with another on the way. Officer Jarriott had given everything, including his life, to protect his community. The Minneapolis ambush. On May 30th, 2024, in the city of Minneapolis, a call for help turned into one of the most shocking and heartbreaking incidents in recent police history.
Squad 512, look, we have at least 2 victims outside at the location, bleeding.
That afternoon, officers received a 911 report about an injured man who appeared to be bleeding and in distress. Responding to the call was Officer Jamal Mitchell, a dedicated and well-respected officer known for his calmness and compassion in the field.
512, copy. Hey, are we on? Hey! Who shot you? Who shot you? Are there victims inside?
When Officer Mitchell arrived at the scene, everything appeared routine at first glance. A man was lying on the ground, seemingly hurt and in need of medical attention. What seemed like an act of kindness and service quickly turned into a deadly trap. The injured man was later identified as Mustafa Muhammad, who was not a victim at all, but a suspect waiting to ambush the responding officer. Without warning, gunfire erupted. The sound of shots echoed through the neighborhood as Officer Mitchell was struck multiple times at close range. Though critically injured, he tried to seek cover, but the relentless attack continued until his body could no longer move. Within minutes, the scene became a battleground as backup officers arrived to confront the gunman.
Stop.
Suspect is a black male wearing a hoodie. And we're getting shot at here. 20 seconds in Blaisdale. Actively shooting.
Where?
Copy. Actively shooting 22nd Blaisdell.
Where? Where's the guy shooting?
That guy, come here. Get on the ground. Yeah, go.
A fierce exchange followed between law enforcement and Muhammad, who continued to fire until he was ultimately neutralized. The gunfight ended with Muhammad dead on the scene, but the loss had already been felt across the city. Officer Jamal Mitchell, a man known for running toward danger to protect others, had given his life in service.
Hey, I got you!
Stay around 22nd and 21st. They're shooting somewhere between the blocks. Copy. Stay away from 22nd and 21st and Blaisdell. He's shooting from that block.
Get up, get up, get up, get up! We need handcuffs on him!
Yes, I'm an officer down. Anyone else?
We don't know. We don't know.
The guy with the gun. Hey, get down! Get down!
He's right here! He's right here! Let's go! This is the only shooter we got so far! It's the only shooter we got!
The city of Minneapolis mourned deeply. Tributes poured in from across the nation, honoring an officer who had walked into danger believing he was there to help someone in need. His death became a chilling reminder of the unpredictable dangers officers face, even in moments that seem routine.
Yeah, it is. He was there shooting right there. If there's any other officers, we do have another victim in a red.
Every officer coming to the scene, come from the south, don't come north. Hey, I'm going up. We're going up.
In the aftermath, fellow officers described the tragedy as a heartbreaking example of bravery met with betrayal. Officer Mitchell's final act was one of service and courage, a reflection of his commitment to protecting others no matter the risk. His name joined the list of heroes who paid the ultimate price in the line of duty, and his story continues to echo through the halls of the Minneapolis Police Department as a legacy of sacrifice and honor.